Hey, you fabulous women, it's Elise Tager from Solopreneur to Entrepreneur. And I just want to welcome you to our Wednesday Wisdom. And today we are with the fabulous the fabulous goddess, Tracey Lee Davis, who's also part of the group. Tracey knows everything there is to know about social media and email marketing. And I mean, the amount that she knows about social media marketing is just ridiculous. But I wanted to focus on email. Well, first of all, I asked you all what you wanted to hear about. Was it social media or was it email? And you said email. So that's what we're talking about, email today. But secondly, what I wanted to do was to have Tracey talk about some things that were a little out of the ordinary, so that I had her talking about more interesting things than just the same old, same old. So as always, I think there's a little bit of a lag. So I can't tell yet if we're on.
We are.
We are on? We're on here. Are we on Facebook? Can you see?
I'm looking at us right now.
You're looking at us. That's great. So guys, Tracey, and I'm just going to interview Tracey with these questions that I came up with. If you have any comments or questions, put them in. Hello from Texas. Who's in Texas?
Woohoo!
Who's there?
It's FL.
F, how are you, my dear? I'm so glad you're here with us today. I got to find this on.
Well, I have two monitors, and so I'm looking at actual Facebook, and then I have this on my other screen.
So I'm looking at my phone, and I've got the group up. Maybe if I get out and bring it up again. Hang with me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be intelligent here, but you know that's always a challenge. I don't see it here, but as I remember last time, there was a big lag for me to be able to see. So, okay. So Tracey, you've got another monitor, so you can be better about calling out people. So you're on. I see you gals. Great. Facebook user. Hello, ladies. What are the names here, Tracey?
It's all FL right now.
Okay. F, I'm so glad you're here. Does FL stand for something? I keep thinking that's a acronym for something else. But anyway, so let us know if you have a real name as opposed to FL. But FL is great. Okay, so I'm Tracey Lee. Do you want to give yourself a little more formal presentation? Tracey and I know each other very well, so we're going to be very casual here. But Tracey, give a little bit more formal introduction to yourself.
Sure. Well, so my name is Tracey Lee Davis, and I am the owner of ZingPop Social Media. I'm a social media coach and an email marketing manager, and I turn busy business owners into online marketing rock stars. Love working with small business owners. I have clients all over the country. I actually now have clients in all of North America. So that's exciting. But yeah, I just really love working with small business owners and helping them figure out all of this stuff. Because what I really absolutely learned is that people do not start their small businesses because they love running a business. They start their small business because they love being a professional organizer or a dog trainer or a realtor or whatever it is. They don't necessarily they're not looking forward to all of the other stuff that goes along with running a business, and marketing is just such a huge piece of what can help make a business successful. And I want to help small business owners be successful. And
you do. The other thing that I've noticed with all my clients and all my students is that unless they are marketing coaches or they're marketing consultants, they don't wake up in the morning wanting to market. You know, it's like the last thing on their agenda. So one of the things that's wonderful about working with you is that you streamline, you present the things that are either must-dos or the shortcuts, and we'll talk about some of that. But this isn't all about how many things can you do. What are the most effective things that you can do? Right. I always appreciate that because I don't want to be spending time doing things that I don't have to do. FL says, yes, it's a shortcut for Felicia Legier. So I knew there was a real name there. So I will continue to call you FL. Okie doke. So let's get going. Tracey, I had a couple questions that I wanted you to talk about. And if you want to branch off or do whatever else, please do. So the first one is, why is having an email strategy still so key for your business, especially now with social media? Why does email still count?
Absolutely. Well, so obviously I love social media. It's part of my business name. If you told me that I was on it too much or that perhaps I was addicted to it, I would not challenge you. I love social media. I love it. However, if I had to choose between social media and email marketing for my own business, if I could only choose one channel to market my business, it would be email marketing all the way. And that's not to say that social media is not important. However, when you send out a post on social media, for the average Joe person, your post on your business page is going to reach between 2 to 10% of your audience. And that's not the greatest.
Right.
But if you have a good email list and you're using a reputable email provider, you're going to get 90+% deliverability every time you send. So it's a much more reliable way to get in front of your audience.
Right.
And if you think about with social media, absolutely, it's an amazing tool and you shouldn't discount it. However, you don't own your Facebook page.
Right.
You don't own your Twitter account. You don't own your Instagram account. You are borrowing that space from the companies.
That's
and if Facebook goes away tomorrow, it doesn't matter if you have 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 fans. You're going to lose all of those people because you don't have their contact information. But with an email list, you always own those contacts, regardless of whether the program that you're using goes out of business or not. You always are going to have the access to those email addresses that you've collected over time.
Mm-hmm. And they're never going to go away.
No.
So that's great. So tell me about one of the things that I get asked about a lot is, or I hear especially in the group, is, I've had an email list forever and I haven't contacted anybody in a while. So, my list is dead. What do I do about a list that hasn't been activated or been sent an email to for quite a while? So how do you re-engage a list that's been hanging out there for a while?
Well, so if you started a list years ago and your business has pivoted away from what you were originally doing, it might make sense to just scrap it and start over.
Right.
However, if you're still doing the same thing that you've been doing or roughly related, and it's just been a year or two or more since you've emailed, I think it's worthwhile to send out an email to that list saying, hey, I know you haven't heard from me in a while, whatever wording you want to do, but do a short and sweet email that doesn't really have anything to do with promoting anything or, just say, I'm going to be emailing you again in much better words than what I'm going to say right now. I'm going to be emailing you again. Are you still interested in getting my emails? Because then you can have anybody who's not interested, they can unsubscribe, or if you add a poll into it, then they can say yes or no. You can then obviously be able to see who is bouncing so that you can remove them from your list. If they, used to work somewhere, you had their work address, now they're somewhere else.
Right.
So you have the ability to gauge interest. So what I like to do, I say to myself that I'm going to do it once a quarter, and I generally do it about twice a year. So
right.
I'm not always perfect with everything either, but I would say try to do this at least once a year, if not more. I send a re-engagement email. So I use Constant Contact. I love that product. I highly recommend it. And so what I do is I am able to generate a segment of my lists based on if they haven't opened an email in a particular amount of time. Or I usually set it to if they're on this list, my ZingPop social media list, and they haven't opened the last 5 emails that I've sent, I'm going to send them a re-engagement email that basically says, hey, do you still want to be my friend? And what's really interesting is that I get really great responses from those in the positive way. Like, oh yeah, I still want to get your emails. Even though they haven't done anything with me, they still want to be on my list. So that tells me that they're interested and perhaps they're in the nurturing phase. They don't necessarily know that they want to use my services yet, but I am reminding them every single month by showing up in their inbox. Even if they don't open my emails, they're still seeing my name.
Right.
They're still hearing from me every month. And so it keeps them in the pipeline. Now, the very first time that I did this, it was pretty funny. you want to have a catchy subject line, because if they haven't opened any of your previous emails, then what's to say they're going to open up this one? So you really need to capture their attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first time I did this, I sent out my email with the subject line that says, "I miss you." Pretty simple, right? And
I can just imagine what's coming.
And on my list, I had forgotten that there was an ex-boyfriend of mine who used me and my services for a short period of time with his business. And then, we stopped seeing each other. Life went on. He got married, and he was still on my list, but he hadn't been opening my email addresses. But I tell you, or my emails. But I tell you what, he opened up that email right away.
How did you?
He didn't ask to be removed from my list either.
Oh,
so that was interesting. But the thing that was interesting with that is that that first email that I sent out to, again, these are people who hadn't opened 5 or more of my last emails that I sent out to this list. I still had something like 35 to 38% of people opening that email. And I think that that's pretty awesome for, for someone who, or for a group of people who haven't opened any of my emails. That's a great open rate. So,
and then I will decline. Would you use that subject? If I see your question, we'll get right to it. So let me just have her finish that. Would you use that email again? Email subject line again, or was that just too?
So no, I think that it's a good one to use. So another cool thing that Constant Contact does is that it resends an email. You can opt in to have it resend an email to anyone who hasn't opened it within a certain amount of time. So I had that email resend 4 days later to everybody who didn't open it, and instead of saying "I miss you," I think I said something like, "It's been a while," or something like that. So I just change the subject line a little bit every time I send that, and I get good results.
That's great. I just started using that service, that function too, and it's fantastic.
I love it.
You just asked, you said, "I don't have an email list. What's the best way to start one? People who want my service find me on Facebook and sign up for my services or call me. But I've learned that I need an email list to market to new people for my very niche business." So let's talk about how do you get started with email, but also, F, can you just put in the comments, what kind of a business do you have? It's not going to be different. I mean, every business needs this, but I'm just curious, what business are you in? So Tracey, how do you get started?
So the easiest thing, first off, you have to think about the fact that when you're building your email list, it's so important to make sure that you have consent. Consent's obviously great in all aspects of your life, but with your email list, you need to have to comply with the CAN-SPAM law, which if you ever are suffering from insomnia and you need something to help you sleep, I recommend looking that up and reading it. It's awful, boring, and dry. However, it's very important that you know what's going on with that. So one of the things with the CAN-SPAM law is that people have to be expecting to hear from you. So, every once in a while I get emails from companies saying, "Oh, you can buy this email list of all of these hot leads," or whatever. That violates the CAN-SPAM law if you are going to be using those emails for mass marketing purposes. So
Doreen, thanks for joining us. Sorry.
You can't just buy a list and then throw it into your, Constant Contact or MailChimp or whatever account. Everybody who's on your list should be expecting to hear from you. So the obvious first place to start is with your existing customers. They all, okay, I see what her business is. It's old school diaper cloth delivery service, or cloth diaper delivery service. That's awesome. So starting with your customers, all of the people who are already spending money with you, they're giving you implied consent. Because they are using your services, because you already have an established relationship, it's okay to put their emails into your email list. So that's considered implied consent. And express consent is when somebody signs up through a pop-up on your website, or if they give you their email to join a group like we have with Solopreneur to Entrepreneur. If people, it could be as simple as you meet someone at a networking event and you ask if you can add them to your list. Now, if someone just hands you their business card to connect, that is not consent to add to your business, your email list. And I've had people do that before, and it's so unfortunate because I would like to develop a relationship with someone, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I want them to immediately start marketing to me. So when you are just getting started, obviously start with the folks who are already your clients if you have them. And then you want to get a variety of different sign-up tools out there on all of your different platforms. So definitely you want to have something on your website. You should utilize something to have an email signature so that anybody who is you're emailing with on a day-to-day basis, they can sign up through your email signature. You can, with any reputable email marketing program, you can have a link on your Facebook page to sign up directly through Facebook. And then again, any reputable email marketing company is going to have the ability to have a link to sign up. So you'll be able to create a URL somewhere within your email program so that people can sign up. And so with that, you absolutely should utilize that on your social media channels, because you're never going to have 100% overlap between social media and your email list. There's always going to be some differences there. So you might as well get that in front of your social media folks so that they can join your email list.
So I want to go back a second, even to a more beginning stage, which is as you start building your email list, whether it's 2 people or 20 to start, you want to be using a third-party email provider, email service provider, an ESP, email service provider. So Tracey and I use Constant Contact. There are many others out there. I'll let her address why Constant Contact, but I know I just want to encourage you to do that, because even when your list is small, there are so many benefits of using an ESP, email service provider, that you want to get started right away. So you're doing it the right way, so that you're not spamming people, so that they provide all kinds of templates and tools to help you get started the right way, and a customer service group that's just really helpful. Why else do you need an ESP, Tracey, besides whether it's Constant Contact or not? But
well, going back to the good old canned spam law, if you are sending emails to, as opposed to just, if I emailed Elise directly a marketing message, that would be fine. But if I'm emailing multiple people with the express intent of marketing, as opposed to just I'm emailing with Elise and I tell her about a program that I have going on, that's totally kosher. But if I'm emailing multiple people telling them about a service or offering or product that I have, that is considered a mass marketing email.
Right, even if it's 5 people.
Yeah.
Really, and so if you're using Google, if you're using your Gmail account to do this, that's spam.
Yep.
You can't,
because one of the major components, and one of the very important things about the canned spam law is that you have to, when you are doing mass marketing emailing, you have to give people a way to opt out. And people cannot opt out from your Gmail. I mean, they can report you as spam and they can block you, but when you're using Constant Contact, MailChimp, Robly, any of these email service providers, at the bottom of every email is a way to unsubscribe. And you have to do that. So if you are starting off when I first started, back in the day at my old company, I was sending out marketing emails to our entire list of customers through our SBC Global account. I didn't know any better. It was 2004.
Right.
And
you were young and naive at the time.
And at the time, actually, the canned spam law wasn't it was either 2003 or 2009. I can't remember which one, but it doesn't matter. I was doing the wrong thing.
Right.
So then when I got introduced to the amazing world of Constant Contact through someone else who's on this call right now, that is what really got me on the right track to emailing properly. And so you always want to be thinking about adhering to the rules, because you guys, if you violate the Canned Spam Act and you get caught, it's something like $42,000 per violation.
Yeah, it's bad.
Per violation, $42,000. It's ridiculous.
Tracey, let me interrupt you because we've got some great questions coming in.
Okay.
First of all, I want to say hello to Doreen. Hello, Doreen. You're here. Nalisha, I love that name. Nalisha, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. One of the things that I want you to talk about, but I want to get to these specific questions first. Doreen is saying, can someone who changed brands still be using the same mailing list even though they haven't received consent for their pivot? So they've pivoted. Doreen, you've got, you've changed the what of what you do. You've got a marketing organization now, right? And you're working with the same list. I think that's what she is referring to. So can she use the same list? You know, Doreen. So is this?
Yeah. So, okay. If you're going from, in Doreen's situation, a massage company and then pivoting to a marketing company, I wouldn't use that list.
Right.
What you might consider doing is sending one email to those people and saying, hey, this is my new venture that I'm doing. If you're interested in if you're interested in keeping in touch with me with what I'm doing now,
Right.
Sign up for this list here. Have them opt in.
Mm-hmm.
So in my previous career, I was the director of operations for a dog daycare company, and I amassed, when I got the news that I was getting laid off, a whole bunch of my clients were amazing, and they connected with me on LinkedIn. And so then when I figured out what I was doing with, starting up my new company, ZingPop Social Media, I emailed all of those people through Constant Contact once. And I said, this is what's going on with me now. I've started this project. I've started this company. If you're interested in keeping up with me, click here so that I can add you to this list and I will market to you there. Otherwise, you're not going to hear from me again, because I don't want to be spamming people. So you absolutely can utilize that list to give people an update of what you're doing, but I wouldn't continue using it unless people opt in specifically, because
you're going to be carrying a lot of dead weight on that list, which is really not going to respond. Doreen also had more questions. She said, can someone who changed, you answered that. One of my therapists is branching off and wants to use his client info for his new brand, not massage, to marketing. I don't get that. So is he taking his contact info, his peeps, he's taking them with him? Is that what's going on, Doreen? I can't quite understand.
Yeah, I'm not exactly following that. One of your therapists is branching off and wants to.
Hey, Cindy Lish, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Doreen, if you could give us a little bit more clarity on that, I would be delighted to answer.
I want to move on, though, Doreen. Maybe you can talk directly to Tracey about this specific issue. I don't want to get too hung up on a rabbit hole that's specific to your business. And she says, yes, good. Cindy Lish, thank you for coming today. If you have any questions or comments for Tracey Lee, the goddess of email, please let me know. Let us know. Just put it in the comments below. Back to F's question. Get started yesterday, F. The sooner you start building an email list, the stronger your business is going to be.
Yep.
So start with the clients you already have. Start by, as Tracey said, putting a signature, an invitation to join your email list in the signature of your emails. Anywhere you can create an opportunity for someone to sign up for your email list, do that. Also, make it attractive. So make it such that, you're giving away a little one-sheeter or a little checklist on, why cloth diapers are better than the other. Something that someone would want to read so that they're willing to give you your email address. I'm sure you've seen these. They're called lead magnets. You've seen them all over the internet forever. It's nice to provide something, entice someone to sign up for email lists, and then they get to know you better, and you're sort of pre-selling your services and your content in the guise of gathering an email list. But again, start sooner than later, because your business is only going to improve from there. The other thing is, if you're starting an email list, even if you've got 2 people on the list and one is you and the other's your mom, you want to send out an email at least once a month. You want to keep, as Tracey said earlier, you want to, the biggest thing about an email newsletter is that if it does nothing else, it reminds people that your business exists, right? Mm-hmm. It's a branding statement. It says, remember me? You know, you might not have wanted to, just remember me. And so the minimum I would do that is once a month, get out there to your list with something. It can be a paragraph. It can be a graphic and a fun comment about your business. It can be anything. So don't be daunted by the idea of having to send out a novel. You know, this has to be a communication with people who might want to be interested in your services, and just get started. Get started early. Get started yesterday. One of the things that Tracey can do is she has a great package or a little service that she provides to get you started on email. Do you want to talk about that for a quick second?
Sure. Yes, I offer a jump start. So while my main thing is I recommend Constant Contact, if you have another email service provider that you're already using, I can help you with that platform too. But if you're starting from nothing, my recommendation is Constant Contact because I think it's fantastic. So my Constant Contact jump starts. What I do with that is we get the account set up and then I optimize it all for you. So I take care of everything on the back end so that it's set up properly. Then if you have a list, I'll set that up for you in your account. If you don't have a list, no worries. We'll get started on that.
Get started the right way.
Plenty of things to do. I'll get you an email or a welcome email set up that's customized to your business, because when somebody joins your list, you want them to get a welcome email right away. You don't want people forgetting that they signed up for your email list. There was a business earlier, towards the end of last year, probably about a year ago, I signed up for their email list, and they didn't send an email for like 6 months. And when I got their email, I was like, who's this? I didn't sign up for this. And as I was poking around, I was like, oh yeah, I did sign up for this, but it was ages ago. Right. So it's always a good idea to have a welcome email go out right away to confirm that people, they signed up. You want them to get something right away so they start getting used to seeing you in their inbox. So get that email, the welcome email set up, and then I put together a whole slew of sign-up tools for you so that you can start building that list.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and then I create a custom template that is based on your website, and I fill in that template so that you have your first email go out. So, starting with nothing all the way to getting your first email out, that's what I take care of in my Jumpstart. And with that, when it's complete, in theory, you are going to be all ready to go to send out emails after that. You can just change out the content of the template that I create for you. Yeah. But there are plenty of people who are like, great, I don't want to do it, and I just want you to keep doing it for me. And I will happily continue to create emails for you after that jump start, if that's what you're interested in.
So getting it started the right way is important. Getting started is critical. So don't hesitate. Get it started the right way. And as I said, whether you've got 2 people on your list in the beginning or 20 or 1,000, doesn't matter. Just start the process. Consistency is really critical. So if you just you'd ask the question, what's a good number of times to send out a list monthly? I send them out once a week. Tracey, you do it every other week.
Well, so I have, there are a couple of different answers for this. I have a variety of different lists. And for my main business list, I send that once a month. I also have an events list, which goes out once a month. So if you're on both of those lists, then you get 2 emails from me. If you're part of my membership program, then you get if you're in my silver or gold level of my membership program, you're going to get a lot of emails from me, at least one a week.
That's different, right? This is on your ongoing email newsletter communication.
Yeah, and that goes out once a month. The big thing that you want to think about here is, well, there's 2 things. One, you should be sending no less frequently. That's an awkward sentence. At least once a month. You should be sending at least one email a month to
because
your
we forget.
list.
And again, you just want to be on people's radar. Here I am.
Yes.
And once
then,
a month.
At least once a month. If you're going to be sending more frequently than that, then you need to make sure that your audience is expecting it. You want to set up those expectations right from the get-go. So, for example, on my website, I have a pop-up on my website that tells people to sign up for. I don't remember the wording, but anyway, I say it clearly that it's once a month. And then when people get my email welcome intro series, I say welcome to Cool Kids Club. And you're going to be getting 2 more emails, and then you will be hearing from me once a month. So my welcome introductory series is 3 emails long, and I set that expectation up from the get-go so that people know that they're going to be getting 3 emails total in the course of like a week and a half. And then after that, once a month. You want to make sure that if you are emailing whatever frequency you're saying that you're going to be emailing, you stick to that. Because if you say you're going to be emailing once a month and then you go down to, once a quarter, people are going to forget you. They're going to unsubscribe. But if you say that you're going to be emailing once a month and then you start emailing once a week, that's a completely different thing. And while there are a number of businesses that I sign up for daily and weekly emails, it's a very different sort of situation than just getting an email from a business that I am interested in learning about. The stuff that I get on a regular basis are things that are industry specific, that I am keeping up on trends with social media, with email marketing. I want to get that information as it comes, but I don't want to get an email every day or every week from just any business. So it's really important.
Mine. You're happy to get mine.
Of course. But it's setting up that expectation from the get-go. So make sure that whatever interval you're planning on emailing, you let people know when they sign up. So there's no surprises. And then stick to that. Uphold that expectation.
Let's just ask what the cost of that startup plan is.
Your microphone has fallen and is covered by something, and it's muffled, and I didn't hear what you just said.
Ta-da!
Oh, there you are.
Asked you what the cost of the startup program is.
Oh, my Constant Contact Jumpstart is $350.
Totally well worth it, because she will set you up not just with Constant Contact, but just the whole methodology about what you need to know and do to get you going, to get your email list started.
Yeah.
Okay, I had some other questions here. Any shortcuts for the amount of time that you want to spend on email marketing?
Yes. There are a number of things that I do every month that helps me create an email really quickly when it's time for me to do mine. One, I have my template all set up so that I can just use a new version of that every time. So I'm not recreating my template every single month.
It's just a copy and paste.
Yeah. And then as far as the content that I put in my email, I'm always thinking about that as far as I try to rotate through talking about Facebook, talking about Instagram, talking about email marketing, talking about, a different topic every month. And so I always have a running list of articles that would be useful to go in there. So I'm sharing other people's stuff. I'm not always doing original content of my own, because I just don't have time to create original content every time I send an email. So I am always keeping tabs on what articles are helpful for my clients so that they can, so that I can just have that on the ready. Another thing that I do, if I don't have something that it's like, oh, I really want to talk about that. Like I just sent out my email on Monday, and I wanted to make sure that I told everybody about Small Business Saturday coming up next month. Or I guess it's technically, no, it is. It's the last day of November. So I sent a link out to the place where you can create assets for Small Business Saturday. That has nothing to do with me, but it's valuable for my clients. So along with, if I just know something that I want to post or share, I go and I look at the last month of my posts on social media and see which post that I shared that was outside information that got the most attention, and I share that into my email.
In the email, yeah.
And I know that my email list and my social media followers, they're not completely synced up. So I know that it's not going to be completely redundant for everyone who gets my email. So those are things that I do to help me save time. I just have content on the ready, duplicate my emails, and I'm good to go.
So I want to just add to that. Couple things. One is, Tracey, can you put your contact information into the chat? I've just asked for it. Once we're done with the live, I'm gonna save the video to the group, and then above it or in a comment, I'm gonna put all of Tracey's contact info, and then a link to that offer specifically, and then also a link to her membership, which I want her to talk about in a minute. But one of the other incredible time-saving things about using either a Constant Contact or an Aweber or one of the other other email service providers is that once you set up a template, you've branded a template, it's your colors and your logos in there or whatever, you're just using that every time you want to send out an email. You're not recreating the wheel. It takes me about 10 minutes to send out my weekly email. So I've thought ahead about what I want to put in there. It's never very complex. And it takes me about 10 minutes to just drop in some new copy, 1 or 2 new graphics, and I hit send. It's so easy to do. So again, once you've done the thinking in advance a little bit, it makes it so easy. So there's Tracey's contact info. Do any of you, we could talk about this for all day. Any of you other guys have any questions? You've been quiet. Cindy, any questions that you have? Doreen, any others about email in general? Nalisha, you've been very quiet. Any other questions that you want to ask Tracey? Because I want her to talk about one more thing that's not email related. Anybody? You're all so shy.
And I do work with MailChimp too. I think Constant Contact is far superior product, but I have a number of clients who use MailChimp, so I'm really familiar with that too.
Good. Okay. Other thing that I want Tracey to talk about, which is more on social media, is her membership site. I'm a member. Why don't you describe it, and then I can gush about how incredible this is.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I'd be happy to.
I've been an online marketer for, I want to say, as long as online has been around. That's why these gray hairs are here. But I've been involved with social media since forever. I mean, I was one of the first people to sign up for LinkedIn. So I'm pretty savvy with social media. There is so much to know, and there's even just to keep up. And again, Tracey has given me a shortcut into expanding my knowledge significantly. So tell us about your social media membership, and then I'll gush some more.
Okay. So I have, because my business name is ZingPop Social Media, I have a membership program called ZingPop in Your PJs that happens. I'm in California. I'm in San Jose, and so my membership meets at 8:30 on Friday mornings. So I have so it's in your PJs if you want to be.
And she is so cute.
I usually always wear my PJs. So the whole premise of it is that I do private coaching with my clients, and I'm happy to do one-on-one coaching. I love it. It's so fulfilling for me. I really enjoy it. But I know that not everybody can afford my hourly rate, which is just $100. But I know that if you're just starting out, you may not have that money. And I still want to be able to help businesses that need help with their marketing. So ZingPop in Your PJs was born. And what that's all about is I have 3 levels. So there's a free level that you can join that you get all sorts of good stuff. But the 2 paid levels is where you get really all of the goodies. So for example, the silver level, I have a different webinar that I do every month. So this month, or this coming up on November 1st, on Friday, 2 days from now, I'm doing last minute email marketing ideas for the holidays. The month before I did holiday email promotions. I'm going to be doing something about you're making sense of online marketing. In December, I do social media webinars. I do webinars about anything social media, email related, as well as just general being on the internet stuff. So different topic every month with my webinar. That's the first Friday of every month. Then along with that, the next 3 Fridays of the month are group coaching sessions. So all of my members who are available, we get online through Zoom and we all talk about the questions that you have. Everybody gets an opportunity to introduce themselves and everybody gets to ask their big burning question of the week. And I go through and I answer all those questions. So those are the big 2 things that you get with silver and gold membership. There are a variety of other things that come along for the ride. You get to access to my exclusive Facebook group. So just like Elise has her Solo to Entrepreneur, I have ZingPop in Your PJs, where people post questions all the time and I'm able to just go through and answer them. What's also great is that because my membership has a bunch of awesome people in it, I have other people who can answer questions quickly too. So it's not all just me. My group is really helpful. You get a consultation with me when you first sign up. You get a monthly content idea, a calendar of content ideas. So if you don't know what to post about on any given day, you can look at that calendar and post something about that. I believe yesterday was National Cat Day. So it's perfect opportunity to post random cat videos on the internet. I also have on-demand videos, and all of my members get 20% off those on-demand videos, which I do have an on-demand video that's all about building your list, 30 ways to grow your list. So I have a lot of different opportunities for people to learn about social media, email, just marketing on the internet in general. And this membership gets you 4 or 4.5 hours of my time every month. The silver membership is only $75, and that's 4 hours of my time every month for $75. And my gold membership, you also get a private one-on-one 30-minute coaching session with me, and that's $120 a month. So
well, beyond well worth it. It's been incredible. Okay, so again, once I file a video, I'm going to put all of this contact info and the links to what Tracey's talking about into the group, so you can contact her and explore some of the opportunities after we get off the call. We've been on for 42 minutes, so Woo. I know. Anybody have any other questions for Tracey Lee or myself on the topic of email?
Doreen asked if there are any constant contact promotions going on for new clients, and I can always get you a discount. Generally, I believe right now the deal that's going on is 30% off your first 3 months. So yes.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. Any other questions, you guys, since you got us and we're here and we're talking about email? F, I hope that helped you. I'd really like to see you get started, because if someone's in business and they're not using email, you're leaving money on the table, is all I can say. So yep. Get started now. Okay, you guys, I don't see any more questions. You know, the video is going to be in the group until I pull it down, which I haven't pulled any down now. So if you missed anything, or if you want to come back and look at it again, it's there. And if I don't see any more questions, and I don't, I'm just going to say thank you to Tracey Lee for being the goddess that she is.
I'm happy to be a goddess.
Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us today. So with that, I'm going to bid you adieu, and thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.